From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Good morning, Mid-Michigan. We're going to continue to see a very nice day in the forecast for the day ahead. We're also noticing a little bit of some temperatures that are in the 50s. We're looking at 51 degrees down in Hillsdale, 49 in Jackson, 44 in Lansing, 44 in Grand Ledge, and our satellite radar is showing those mostly cloudy skies, and those are going to stick around for the day today, although we could see some sunshine as well. As we head throughout the next 12 hours, we'll see mostly cloudy skies and eventually cloudy skies as we head into the night tonight. Temperatures into the upper 50s to possibly the low 60s, depending on how much sunshine we get. All the full details coming up in just a little bit. 6 News This Morning starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News This Morning.
Good morning, Mid-Michigan, and thank you so much for waking up with us today. It's Saturday, May 3rd. I'm Dalen Huff, and I'm here for you now with this morning's top stories. Karina Prieto is away to celebrate her graduation weekend with her fellow Spartans, and she's joining over 10,000 graduates this semester from 50 states and more than 57 countries. Commencement happened last night along with ceremonies for the veterinary nursing and communication programs, but there will be events going on all weekend at the Breslin Center and the Wharton Center today. Ceremonies will begin at 8:30 this morning and will run well into the evening, so be aware of extra traffic if you are driving near campus. And if you're in town to celebrate, you'll probably notice all of the construction going on along the highways, so make sure to double check on how you're getting to your events and be prepared for backups. The team here at 6 News wants to say congratulations to everyone graduating this weekend, but especially to Karina, who has been working the weekend shift while also completing a full schedule in college. We'll be looking forward to having you around in the studio even more during the week. Also in the headlines this morning, tariffs. President Donald Trump's 25% tariff fee on some imported auto parts take effect today. Auto companies were granted some relief earlier this week with some slight adjustments to the list of parts that will be affected. But executives are telling the White House that they still will lose billions this year if they see more rollbacks. Most U.S. automakers say that 4 years worth of tariffs won't be enough to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. And right now, most car makers are trying to wait it out. But some automakers in Europe have already announced changes to their production, like Mercedes, which they say will be expanding production at a plant in Alabama to get around tariffs. Meanwhile, Wall Street has been reacting to all of this. The moves to ease tariffs for automakers and new messaging coming out of Washington have inspired investor confidence that hopes the trade war might not be as bad as economists originally forecast. Investors pushed prices into the green for the 9th straight day to close out the week, which makes it the longest winning in 20 years. Good news from this week's U.S. job report also helped bring the market back to where it started before the trade war started to heat up last month. But investors also tell us that the remaining uncertainty over how the next few months will play out will keep growth lower than it should be, and next month's job report might tell us a different story. Meanwhile, the Trump administration has announced its budget plans with spending cuts and a request for the Supreme Court to give personal data on millions of Americans to the Department of Government Efficiency. Bradley Blackburn is tracking the latest on another busy week in Washington.
President Trump left his Palm Beach Golf Club Friday, while in Washington, his administration took another swing at giving DOJ more power. In an emergency appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, the Trump administration asked to clear the way for the Department of Government Efficiency to access sensitive Social Security data with personally identifiable information on millions of Americans, supposedly to find fraud. Billionaire Elon Musk has said he's winding down his time with DOJ, but the administration says the department's work to cut government waste will continue.
He was treated very unfairly by the I guess you'd call it the public, by some of the public, not by all of it.
Friday, the president also gave Congress his budget blueprint, calling for $163 billion in spending cuts. It targets public health, education, and clean energy programs, but would not touch defense, border security, Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. In an executive order this week, Trump defunded PBS and NPR, accusing them of bias in their reporting. It affects public TV and radio stations across the country that are supported in part by the federal government.
I'm still really befuddled by all of this and the potential damage.
But the president is gearing up for a military parade in Washington with thousands of troops, dozens of aircraft, and tanks. It's planned for June 14th, the 250th anniversary of the Army and the president's 79th birthday. One defense official tells CBS News early estimates peg the cost at tens of millions of dollars. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
We bring things back to Michigan now with a recap of a trial that's getting national attention. Officer Christopher Shore took the stand on Friday for the first time to tell the jury his side of the story in the incident that led to the killing of Patrick Lyoya. He testified that when Lyoya took his taser, he legitimately feared for his life.
What were you fearful of?
That he was going to use it on me and I was going to die.
So what did you do next?
I shot him.
Why?
I believed that if I hadn't done it at that time, I wasn't going to go home.
Grand Rapids Police Captain David Silver testified earlier in the trial that he thought the use of force was acceptable, but another former officer testified that Lyoya was not aggressive, and since both of the taser's cartridges had already been used, Shore should have known his life was not in danger.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, it's a little bit chilly across the area this morning, so you might need a light jacket as you're heading out the door, but we'll continue to see a little bit of some clouds and a little bit of some sunshine for the day today. Right now down into Jackson, we're continuing to see quiet conditions and those cloudy skies. Temperatures are into the 40s this morning. We're looking at 44 degrees here in the Lansing area, 46 in Charlotte, 50 degrees in Hillsdale, Jackson 49, 41 degrees over in Ionia. Now as we look at the satellite and radar, there are some showers off to our south and our east, and we're going to continue to see mostly cloudy skies as we continue throughout the morning. But this is all associated with a low pressure system that has moved off to the east a little bit, and it has a cold front draped right along it, and that's going to add like a conveyor belt method around the area for the next couple of days. It's just going to bring a lot of moisture back into the area, so don't be too surprised if we have a lot of rain showers. But for today, we're going to continue to stay dry, maybe see a little bit of some sunshine just like we saw yesterday, maybe even a few drizzly conditions as well. But for the majority of the day, I think we're going to continue to see a little bit of some clouds, a little bit of some sunshine. Depending on how much sunshine we get will determine our temperatures. Now, I think that we're going to get into the 60s today as we will see a little bit more sunshine, but if we don't see a lot of sunshine, we could be a little bit cooler than that into the upper 50s. So we're pretty close to average for this time of year, if not a few degrees below, but still just bring the rain jacket just in case.
And I have mine in my car just in case.
Yep.
Thank you, Kelsey.